Well, happy new year to everyone out there. This is January 6th, 2025. And so this is the first video of this year. Hopefully I won't drop stuff off my lap. I've got everything balanced and I've got to read my iPad and stuff like that. Might I suggest that you not watch this video if you are in a hurry to go somewhere or do something, but rather listen to it when you have time to contemplate. This particular video very well could be the last video I would ever make in my entire life. Does that mean I'm not going to make videos anymore? Absolutely not. I will continue as long as I'm alive. But I don't need to. This is the very last one that you personally will ever need in your entire lifetime. If you've watched all my other videos. This is the coup de grace. This is the icing on top. This is the last. This is the end. This is the highest teaching that I can possibly give you, no matter what. There's no way I can exceed this particular lesson. It is the end, the utmost, the top, and that's why I ask that you play it when you have time to contemplate these ideas and thoughts and everything. Again, I'm going to remind you that I will continue to make videos, but I don't really need to. Nevertheless, because I like you, because I love God, and I love helping people, of course I will continue. So with that, what is this about? Let's start off with the concept of lies. We're in the Kali Yuga. And in my opinion, we are at, I would like to say the end of the Kali Yuga, but that's not entirely true either. We are in a part of the Kali Yuga where evil and opposition has reached a pinnacle level that absolutely requires you personally to move forward with what I'm teaching today. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. So let's look at the concept of Satan in Christianity, and you have a visual idea of who Satan is. And I've also said that this same individual came in a different avatar body known as Shiva, but the same individual. And let's consider this individual. I'm asking you to imagine, to fictionalize in your mind for you to understand the concept that I'm trying to teach. So this individual of Satan has never harmed anyone in all existence. That this godly individual that many assume to be a monster is not only not a monster, but has never harmed anyone ever. Now, with that idea and thought, you could also exercise that same concept and theory with a living individual that died 75, 80 years ago or whenever it was. Hitler, for instance. could suffice as the same individual, as representing a human being that never harmed anyone. Now, I know that that sounds like crazy talk, but imagine that, if you will. But that the only thing that this individual, meaning Satan, has done is lie. And the lies cause other good or potentially good individuals to act upon those lies, and they believe those lies, and with those lies they make judgmental opinions and ideas and everything, and then they go out and commit all sorts of heinous crimes and evil acts and murder and create wars and everything based upon lies. It isn't the truth. But how are you personally going to know what the truth is? Well, that's the point of what I'm getting to. How are you going to know? If I look down upon my iPad, I apologize, but I need to keep on task for this particular video. So, during the Kali Yuga, as well as the greatest time, which would be the Satya Yuga, where it's like the people like Jesus or Vishnu or any righteous God that you can conceive of walked the earth, and we were all privy to absolute truth with no possibility of being deceived, because the truth was before us. And this was prevalent for, according to Hinduism, hundreds of thousands of years, if not millions of years during the Satya Yuga. And when I say millions of years, what I mean is we as human beings lived hundreds of thousands of years before we died. And so we had a lot of time to indoctrinate ourselves, or to teach ourselves, or to absorb the truth. And during this Satya Yuga type period of time, individuals like Satan or Shiva were able to learn all of this truth that they really couldn't put to use in their lying, because everybody knew what the truth was, and when they heard a lie, it was instantaneously they knew the difference between the truth and a lie. So people like Shiva or Satan had no power back then, because their power is in lies and to get people to do things based upon a lie. And that wasn't possible back then. But just like you and I, they were privy to, when I say just like you and I, because you lived millions of years ago. You've been doing this reincarnative life cycle for hundreds of millions of years. And we're at the end of a Kali Yuga. So during this Satya Yuga, you were learning. And think about it. You go to college for several years to learn things, and in the end, how long do you spend taking your finals? 2 days, 3 days out of several years, and then you're graded, and then you move on, or you don't move on. Well, that grading period that's only a couple of days long is like the Kali Yuga that we are in right now. You are being tested on what you've learned for the last several million years. Several hundreds of incarnations. You are being tested. But at the same time being tested, don't look at it as a test, but look at it as just as valuable as the Satya Yuga period of time, in that you are learning. If you put yourself to that task, you are learning. It is just as valuable, equally valuable in that Kali Yuga if you put it to use. Otherwise, you samsarically continue the life cycle after this Kali Yuga, and you re-enter the Satya Yuga to start the process all over again. You have flunked your college exams, and you have to go through it again. Most people flunk, so don't feel bad about it. But I suspect those people that are watching this video are not going to flunk for the most part, or they would not have been directed to watch it or be attracted to what I teach. So during the Kali Yuga, it is incredibly exciting time right now that you are being put to the task. What is the crowning jewel of what I am going to teach you that is, and by the way, I've got several other concepts after I tell you what this crowning jewel is. This crowning jewel, the end of what I will ever have to teach you, and I don't ever need to teach another lesson or make another video if you were to understand what I am saying. Visualize, if you will, blissful idiots in a Christian church. And I emphasize Christian church. Visualize these blissful idiots standing up and praising God, and the preacher leads them, "Dear God in heaven, we humble ourselves before you." And in most instances, especially in Eastern philosophy teachings, but throughout everything, they teach us to be adults, mature. And you know the saying that Jesus said, "I would that you were a little child, teachable." That's what I'm going to tell you. I know it sounds silly for me to lead up to this big thing as if it's a big thing, and in fact it is a big thing. I want you to know with no uncertain terms, because I am absolutely serious that this could be my last teaching if you have followed along for the past several years. This could be my last teaching. And again, I want you to know that I'm not going to stop making videos. But it could be the last teaching. Those blissful idiots in church that are praising God, I want you to be a blissful idiot. I want you to pray to this God. I'm not going to give you a description of this God. I've made a lesson a few years back that you are the creator of God. You recreate this God. The example of this God that you recreate was given to us by Jesus, by reading who this individual Jesus was, that he sacrificed himself for your benefit from love, and that he prayed to God. This particular God that he prayed to, I am suggesting that you, like a child, pray to this God on a daily basis, to give thanks, to pray for and ask for miracles, to pray for and ask for help, that you understand what I teach, what is written in the Vedas, what is written in the Holy Bible, which is written anywhere and everywhere. Pray that you personally would understand what the truth is. Mind you, I started this lesson by telling you that Satan, his only transgression, might have been lying, telling you, giving you guidance and direction that isn't true. And thousands of years pass, and we live in a cesspool world where rape and incest and murder is happening everywhere. A few days ago, the President of the United States honored George Soros with a Citizens Award of Greatness and everything. Can you come up with a better example of how evil we have gotten in this world today? Mind you, the people that gave him an award might be absolutely wonderful people that are nothing more than useful idiots, ignorant of what the truth is because they don't know where to find the truth. I'm telling you where you find the truth. You don't find the truth through me. You find the truth through praying to God, not as an adult, but as a child of God. You pray to this God because you are a child. You cry sometimes when you're praying to this God. This particular God is older than you. You think you're an adult because you're 50 years old, 60 years old, 70 years old. How does that compare to an infinity old God that you pray to? Don't think that you are this wise and super intelligent individual that understands scriptures and the truth and everything else, and you're so great. What you are is a child of God, pleading in prayer to help you know what the truth is. That is the final teaching that I am telling you. Pray to this God. Ask this God. Regardless, if you pray to this God endlessly for the rest of your life and never receive an answer, it doesn't matter. You continue to pray to this God. You continue to ask this God. You have faith unyielding that this God loves you. Not that this God is a powerful God that can destroy you. That particular God is Satan, Shiva. But the particular God I'm telling you about would never harm you. This particular God loves you. The only reason Satan would lie in the first place is because he did not have faith that this particular God, Brahma, loves you. I want that to sink in to the core of your being. If you cannot move to the path of where I'm telling you to go right now, if you cannot see yourself humbling yourself, pleading as a child to this God for help to understand what the truth is, if you cannot see yourself going there right now, don't condemn yourself. Just understand that you have to move backwards. You cannot move forward from this point forward. You must go backwards to relearn, to go over whatever it is you have to go over, or condemn me and be angry and hateful and follow the lies of everyone that teaches you to go against what I'm telling you right now. You must humble yourself as a child of God, asking and pleading for help to tell you what the truth is. He's not going to tell you the truth openly. What this God will do is enter into your heart and soul and give you a tiny inspiration of what the truth is. You have to learn what that tiny inspiration is and go, wow, that's the truth. And then build upon that as a foundation. And at some point in the future, if you should live long enough, that foundation will be so powerful, so solid, that you will never be deceived again. You can only get there in the Kali Yuga. You can only get there when opposition is so powerful, because the truth cannot be found without you going directly to Brahma, without you going directly to the source of all truth. You cannot get it any other way. During the Satya Yuga, truth was everywhere, and it was prevalent. But during the Kali Yuga, no. There is no truth anywhere. Even what I am telling you seems like the truth, but that's only because I'm getting it directly from Brahma. That's the only reason. But can you depend upon that? You can, as if you were in the Satya Yuga, but you still have to reinforce whatever I teach you with your own personal experience. There is no other way. This is the same path to enlightenment. You have to do it on your own, and there is opposition every step of the way. That is the major point of what I wanted to make. But that's the beginning. I have other things to talk about. One person, probably a month or so ago, asked me to talk about vegetarianism. I will give you a short answer on that. You and me exist in this physical reality. We are not physical beings. We are spiritual. We have no tangibility in this physical realm. Regardless of what you think, you are not physical. You are eternal. You are not a human being. But you live in this physical world as a human being. You must eat to survive. It is kill or be killed. Survival of the fittest in this reality. There is nothing wrong with killing an animal and eating it. There is something wrong with killing it and not giving appreciation to not only God, but the animal that you had to kill in order to eat. That animal sacrificed its life so that your life could continue. Do you know that trees can talk to each other? Do you know that plants have intelligence? So why would it be better to eat plants and murder them instead of animals? It's absolutely absurd. It is a lie that has been perpetrated throughout the ages. What does the physical human body require? If meat is a good or best energy source for the human body, then you must comply with this physical reality if you are to continue. So it is not virtuous to eat vegetarian as versus an omnivore and eating animals. But you damn well better show appreciation for the animal that sacrificed its life for you. Or you're not really that good of a person. That's one of the reasons Christians, even though they may not understand why they give thanks at mealtime, they go, "Thank you, dear Lord, for the food that you have provided, blah, 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 blah." Well, thank you, dear cow, for sacrificing your life for me. There would be nothing wrong in that prayer either. But it takes great understanding to understand what I'm talking about. You have to master your thoughts. In this Kali Yuga, as I just talked about vegetarianism, you are not a human being. You are not the thoughts that enter your mind. You are the power behind controlling those thoughts. You are the power behind causing your human body to think of righteous things to do, to condition the human body in a way that you want it to go. But your thoughts, you're not in control all the time of those things. It's like I answered someone the other day. I can't remember even where it was. But talking about thoughts. and about dreams and such, whether or not you are in control of them. It is no different than driving down the freeway at 70 miles an hour and glancing out the side window and seeing someone being murdered, and there's no off-ramps and there's no way to protect or save, and that happens. Just because you saw it doesn't mean you are responsible for it or responsible in any way, shape, or form of stopping it. You have no power, you have no authority. You just looked out the window. You're an observer in that respect. What does it mean exactly? You have to try to figure that out. There are no accidents. Meaning you were put there to see whatever it is you saw, either in vision, dream, or in real life. So recognize that these sorts of things happen, and you're not the human being. You're just observing what's going on. But I don't want to say just, because you are in control also of what, in the parameters of what you can and cannot do, you're responsible for that. Okay, I wanted to talk about balance. You know, Buddha talked about the center way and all of that kind of stuff. That might have been true back then. There is no center way anymore. What he taught was for his time. At the end of the Kali Yuga, there's no center way. There is no gray. There's black, there's white. There's no center. You either choose the darkness or you choose the light. There is no center way. What he taught might have been relevant during his time, but not today. You must and you will choose one or the other. Not choosing one or the other is choosing one or the other. You cannot walk the fence line anymore. In the Kali Yuga, you must choose who you will follow. Will you follow the darkness? Will you follow the light? It is so easy to just relax and you will fall into the dark. It takes effort to motivate yourself to the light. When I say it takes effort, that isn't entirely true. Once you catch the flavor, once you catch the light, once you become in love with God, it is no longer an effort to pray, to fast, to love. It is no longer an effort. In fact, the effort becomes existing in this world. The effort becomes doing your job. The effort becomes repairing your home, filling your car up with gas. It isn't an effort to study about spiritual truth, or to pray, or to contemplate, or to meditate. That comes with great power from within. This might not tie to what I've been teaching, but it does tie, and I wanted to bring it up. For the past year or so, there's been a war going on in Israel between the Jews and the Palestinians. And I'm going to give you my opinion that, let's assume, and I want to say assume because it's like a judgment call, but I want you to assume, for the sake of just clearing the field, that the Jews are the followers of Satan. And they are all useful idiots for Satan. Let's assume that. If that were true, nevertheless, They are human beings. And the Palestinians want to eliminate them. They have no place on planet Earth to exist. That in itself is evil. When you think about the concept that evil exists, Satan exists, and Brahma, with all his wisdom, did not eliminate and gave a place for Satan to exist. So to think that you have millions of square miles of land and the Israelites have this small, teeny country of Israel and they're not allowed to exist there, isn't that evil in itself? Shouldn't they be allowed to live unmolested in a small area of the world since they have been around for thousands and thousands of years? Isn't it evil to tell them that they don't have the right to exist? So even if they were the epitome of evil, it is evil to do to them what the world wants to do. And I'm not saying that they're evil. I'm just saying if you were to assume they were evil. Furthermore, I have listened to both sides condemn each other and say, no, we cannot work with them. The Palestinians, we cannot work with the, when I say Palestinians, I mean everyone over there. We can't work with the Israelites. They need to be eliminated. And vice versa. But a lot of the Israelites say we can't work with them because they won't work with us. Well, maybe it takes an entire annihilation of one side or the other then. It is what it is. Unless you want to work together in love, then you must destroy each other. That is the plan in the Kali Yuga. If you are going to follow the lies of Satan or Shiva, then the ultimate outcome is you're going to destroy each other. You're going to have to find the truth of what reality is by praying to the loving God that Jesus prayed to. There is no other way. Last, second to the last, but not the least. There's a YouTube channel, and I'm only bringing this up as an example. His name, and on the YouTube channel, he goes by the name of Jason Gregory. And apparently he's a successful YouTube guy that teaches all about Eastern philosophy. Mostly what he teaches about is Advaita, non-duality. And I bring him up because he is a perfect example of a useful idiot. This young man has created a website to sell books and seminars and retreats and merchandise. And it appears that as a byproduct, he teaches you about spirituality. He's in it for the money, but it appears like he's in it to help you learn what the truth is. I'm telling you my opinion. And I'm also going to tell you I don't know what's in his heart and soul. He might be the most wonderful person around. He might have a pure heart of gold. But he teaches false doctrine of non-duality. He is, in essence, a useful idiot for Satan, which is the teaching that you are nothing, that you emanate from Brahman. Everything he teaches about spirituality always comes back to Brahman, and you are Brahman, and Brahman is nothing, and you are nothing, and you have no importance. But in fact, Brahman is everything. This idiot hasn't a foggiest clue of what Brahman is. This idiot knows nothing experientially. It's like he has taken a jigsaw puzzle that is already assembled, which is all the Vedas and all the teachings and all the written truth. He has taken this jigsaw puzzle, rearranged it, and forced pieces into other pieces and put it out there for you and says, well, this is what the truth is. And you would be smart to listen to me, essentially, is what he's saying. And the jigsaw puzzle no longer represents what the truth is. But the truth is impossible to understand. You can read the Vedas, you can read the Bible. You cannot understand what it means without doing exactly what I said in the beginning of this video, which is to humble yourself as a child and pray to God to divine the truth of what is in there. Your physical intelligence is not yours. It is the brain of an animal, a human being, that is incapable of knowing what the truth is. You cannot know what the truth is without going directly to Brahma, praying to the God that Jesus prayed to, with humility, with love in your heart and soul. You cannot know what the truth is. Instead, what you will know is what this Jason Gregory teaches, which is absolute bullshit. It's lies, compounded upon lies to create more lies. And all of this is done, quite possibly, by very good people with beautiful hearts and souls, continuing to preach lies, to pervert the truth, to confuse you even deeper, to extenuate the Kali Yuga even worse than what it already is. That's what people like him do. On the other hand, you personally can gain information from this individual. You can listen to him, and you can listen to him teach and gain further light, further knowledge, and then you figure it out what it really means, because he doesn't have a clue. The last thing I want to talk about, and I don't even know if I want to mention the name. I'm going, because I don't want my video to be taken down. Can you see? Whoops, how do I do this? Can you see that name up there? I'm not going to mention it. I have suffered, I'm closing my iPad because I'm done. I have suffered from what my doctor diagnosed me about 5 years ago with what he called, and she, another doctor, called autoimmune disease. And as a result of it, exhaustion has plagued me for more than 20 years. And the doctor I have now said he has 3 or 4 other patients with the exact same symptoms, and they trace it down. Apparently they can do medical research and figure out, oh, this kind of happened to you 25 years ago or whatever. His other patients are retired firefighters also. And he says it's the direct result of an adverse reaction to all the vaccinations that you received while in the fire department. And me personally, I can say, yeah, that might be true, because I remember I won't say the moment, but within several months of being vaccinated, feeling the exhaustion hit me. And I've been fighting it for more than 20 years. And I found that product from a source in India, because they will not allow you to have it here in the United States. And I took it for 5 days in a row. I think it was 12 milligrams, 5 days in a row. And it was so damned effective that I stopped taking it. And till today, 3 weeks later, I have no signs of exhaustion. I have gone to more doctors than you can shake a stick at. I have gone and done physical therapy. I have gone to naturopath doctors. I have done more than you can imagine over the last 20 years trying to solve this problem of autoimmune, because it is so debilitating. That as healthy and as strong as I am, there have been times when I might be going for a walk and I'm a mile down the road and I got to sit down on the street thinking, I don't think I'm going to make it back home. I think I might have to call an ambulance. I'm so exhausted. And I have suffered with that for more than 20 years. And there are times when I feel better, and there are times when I feel bad, and that I have to fight through it. As far as I can tell, I'm cured. That stuff is powerful. And I'm not going to tell you or give you any advice, because I don't want the video to be taken down. But I am telling you, it cured me. Some way, through divine guidance from God, whatever, I was able to access that product. So, in closing, I'm going to try to continue to make videos all the time. I'll rehash everything. But what I'd like you to do, those that watch my videos, what I would like you to do is take this lesson, what I'm talking to you about, as being like a child and praying to God with love in your heart and soul, asking for forgiveness for the things you do wrong, even the things that you don't know that you're doing wrong. Through ignorance, pray for guidance and direction. It's like this Jason Gregory guy. He never talks about God in a loving way, because to him there is no God. But if he were to pray to God, if he has a heart that's filled with love and compassion, if that truly is in his essence, all he would have to do is humble himself like a child and pray to God for forgiveness for being a useful idiot, to the father of all lies, a useful idiot to that father of all lies. Pray for forgiveness and publicly tell everyone that he was wrong. Only after he learns what the truth is about non-duality. And he would be propelled to the highest levels of spiritual truth and understanding, because he has a much greater understanding of the teachings in all these Vedic teachings than I do. I've studied them all, but I don't have the recollection or the instant recall that someone like he does, or some of my other friends here on YouTube that I communicate with. Anyways, I just remembered I got a doctor appointment real soon. So I got to end this. I got to tell you I love you. And I will try to make a video next week. In that, I'm going to end this. And again, I love you. I love you with all my heart. I love you with all my soul. And I humbly pray to God to bless you in your endeavors to find out what the truth is. And with that, I'll close and say thank you for watching. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.